Hello, I hope y'all are all doing well. It's December 19th. Today I'm back. So today I got a good bit of stuff to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about uh, pretty much like a potential winter storm, significant winter storm or blizzard across areas of the Midwest. Uh, a pretty significant wind event across the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. And we're just going to be talking about, the potential like the coldest Christmas some areas I've seen in a while. It's going to be a very cold Christmas in some areas, especially Christmas Eve. So I'm going to be discussing that in today's video. I hope y'all are all doing well. And by the way, I do plan to make some like bigger changes to this channel as we go into 2023, probably starting like January 1st. Uh, by that I mean I'm probably going to upload a little, like probably get a decent upload schedule going here soon, probably after Christmas. Uh, and then, if you have any ideas though, like video ideas you want to see, I would do hope to have some, Roblox storm chasing videos. Maybe play some Twisted, maybe some Minecraft stuff here. Just let me know. Just let me know if you want what you want to see. Uh, but yes, let's go ahead and get started. So, this is this morning we're looking at a pretty quiet pattern across most of the U.S. The GFS indicates like a little disturbance down along the coast of Texas. However, that's not really, too much of an issue. Not like I'm not seeing a whole lot of stuff going on with that. Uh, Further north, we do see some. Apparently, we're seeing some snow in Kansas right now. Let's take a look at that. Uh, so we are in fact seeing some snow in Kansas. So yeah. So I mean, in areas like in between Wichita and Topeka, we're seeing some snow mix in. Not sure if it's snowing in Kansas City right now. Radar does not indicate that it is, but some decent snow falling there. So yeah, now as we go into this afternoon, we're gonna be seeing this disturbance move kind of east along the Gulf Coast. It's just gonna bring a lot of like rain, the areas on the coast, and some rain into, like areas further north, further inland, I guess, and maybe some snow into the mountains of like northern Georgia, western North Carolina, if we do get the precip there. Uh, so that's kind of weird because we take a look at models like the NAM, and they were showing snow yesterday in areas of North Carolina, like decent snowfall. And I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot snow wise, but like yesterday, I mean, we were seeing a little bit more snow on like models like the NAM 3. So we'll see. We'll see what it can do. I don't think we're gonna be seeing like a big snow event though. Definitely not a big snow event. So yeah. Now looking at Tuesday evening here, we're seeing that storm system still down here, bringing some heavy rain to Florida. And now we start to see a low get together in western Montana. We're starting to see some, higher elevation snow and just some snow in Montana, Idaho, where it's cold enough in those lower elevations there. Uh, and then by Wednesday afternoon, this is beginning to kind of head south and kind of get its act together in the plains. We're seeing a lot of wind, a decent bit of wind across Wyoming already as this low deepens, as it passes through that area. Already seeing some snow showers in areas of the northern plains, so or kind of Midwest northern plains area. And by Thursday morning, you can see our low is now way down south in Texas, like kind of the Oklahoma area here, where it's really starting to get together. We have the pressure gradient really tightening. That cold air is very cold in the backside of this. That's going to be one of the big things with this as well. And I mean, already starting to see some heavy snow with a lot of wind across Kansas, areas of Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa, as the low deepens. And we do have even moisture all the way into the east here for some rain across like South Carolina, maybe like the areas of the Carolinas, areas of the Mid-Atlantic, and even some snow maybe in Pennsylvania Thursday before that warm front lifts too far north, and you see those warmer temperatures move in ahead of this. But Tuesday evening here, what we're looking at, or pretty much throughout the day, or I'm sorry, not Tuesday, Thursday, throughout the day, this low moves northeast across Missouri. And we can see this really heavy snow on the backside of this across Iowa, northern central Missouri, even some snow all the way down into Arkansas and Oklahoma, where accumulations will definitely be lower. But that cold air is still gonna be there, and that's what we're gonna talk about that towards the end of the video. And we can see that snow is really cranking down in a lot of these areas. The 996 millibar low by 10 p.m. on Thursday is now in central Illinois around the Galesburg area. A lot of wind with this. A lot of wind, a lot of snow, and even some snow mixing in the backside of the cold front. Probably as far north as maybe northwest Alabama. Maybe northern Alabama, but in northwest Georgia, but chances of anything significant will be lower. Now we can see throughout Thursday night and Friday morning, that low sits in Illinois, just dumping snow across areas of eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, western Illinois, and still northern Missouri. And then we see this low really just deepen a lot Friday on the 23rd. This is Friday. The low's now at 982 in Canada. But the wind is just coming out slamming the entire east here. A lot of rain because we have that warm air ahead of this and the extremely cold air on the backside. Still seeing snow in western Illinois, Wisconsin there as well. And then we do see a good bit of snow, really heavy snow mixed in on the backside of this in the northeast. That's a little more uncertain, accumulations with that, although most accumulations with this entire thing are uncertain. But yeah, yes, this is a very significant looking storm system here. You can just tell by looking at the GFS like that. Now the Euro is fairly similar, I'd say, now at this point. So for some reason it's being very slow, so let me just do that. Okay, there we go. So throughout today, Thursday, that low is a little further south than the Euro. That's something to note. It goes through northwest Arkansas, maybe bringing a little more snow to areas of central Missouri. And then that low quickly goes into the Midwest. It has a much more eastern solution as well. 989. This is about midnight Thursday night. 989 in Indiana. We can see heavy snow on the backside there with a lot of wind. The wind is going to be a big thing with this. And then it just swings up goes up into Canada, kind of just lingers there for a little bit as it kind of falls apart. It gets down to a 965 on the Euro. Very similar situation in the northeast, though. A lot of wind, but not as much, heavy snow on the backside. Either way, though, I think some areas like Binghamton, State College could see maybe some snow on the backside of this. But the European has those really high accumulations over towards northern Indiana. This corridor right there just gets slammed. So yeah, now that's the Euro is fairly similar. We look at accumulations from the European model here, the one that we just looked at. We're looking at total accumulations from the storm are about in these purple colors, where it switches over to purple, it goes from blue to purple. That's 6+ inches. We can see that all the way, almost down to the Oklahoma, Kansas, the Kansas Oklahoma border there. Kansas City getting in that area 6 inches there. All the way over until Illinois, Western Illinois does not get as much as the GFS has on the Euro. We can see only about 6 to 10 inches generally. But then as we get into the more northern areas, northern Iowa, northeast Illinois, northern Indiana, Michigan, and then up into UP and Michigan and northern Wisconsin, those accumulations are really significant. Even up here, along just in northern Wisconsin, 2 feet on the Euro, and that's pretty consistent over on the GFS here actually. So those areas there will likely see a pretty significant snow. But the GFS doesn't have as much that. The corridor of heavy snow there, it's not as significant. It's much further west. So we'll see what the European does if it does that. If it shifts a little further west. We can also see the GFS indicating some spotty accumulation all the way down to the Tennessee there. Just kind of depends what we see band-wise, which is kind of hard to depict those yet. How we're gonna see that moisture on the backside of the cold front, and the northeast is a little uncertain as well right now due to the GFS. The GFS shows a lot more snow in some areas, but The Euro. I mean, still some areas in State College, uh, like Binghamton, New York. I mean, a lot of upstate New York, Western New York could see a good like some snow from this in the backside. A good bit of snow actually, depending on where you live. So yeah, now the GFS definitely has a much more significant snowfall further south here. Once again, with those 2 feet plus, like 38 inches in west in southeast Iowa there, which I think could be overdoing it a little bit, but it's not out of the question. We'll see what models trend to, for sure. We'll see what everything trends to. Uh, yeah, I mean, looking at how this has changed over several runs in the European. This was Friday morning's runs. This is from 3 days ago now. We can see a little similar to what we're looking at now. We can see the European has shifted not a whole lot really. I mean, the European it's definitely like it's barely shifted, not really further north at all really either. I mean, this corridor right here consistently gets the most snow on the Euro, with a good bit of snow in other areas too, like central Illinois getting a good bit, central Indiana, areas of Ohio as well. I mean, it hasn't really shifted west either. I mean, too much since Friday morning. The GFS, on the other hand, has been a different story. So I mean, this was Friday morning's run. It showed snow all the way down in like in central Alabama there, like an inch of snow. We're going to see every run it's shifted further north, like less away from anywhere in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi getting snow. And also, that heavy snow at one point was supposed to be kind of in the northeast here on the GFS. Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, the heavy snow was at one point, supposed to be in the northeast. And just every run we can see it's shifted further northwest. And I mean, I would trust the European more than the GFS right now, because the European seems to definitely it definitely like, I don't know how to put it, explain it, but it's more, I mean, it's definitely a lot more consistent than the GFS. The GFS is literally changing every run with this northwest change here. I mean, you can see this was yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon. That heavy snow, the heaviest corridor of snow is eastern Illinois, northern Indiana, northwestern Indiana, and then that just shifted by 06C. So this morning's early morning run here, and now that heavy snow's over here. I mean, it just continues shifting on the GFS. You're going to be looking at a snowstorm over here. So I mean, we'll see if the GFS ever starts shifting back. But yeah, so that's snow. It's going to be pretty interesting. Some area it will get a blizzard from this. Some place will definitely get a blizzard from this. It's just where, considering the models are struggling to agree right now on most of that. So yeah, temperature wise right now we're looking at a lot of cold across the northern plains, across the east as well. And tomorrow afternoon, very cold, high temperatures. We can start to see that cold air kind of building in that area there. And then be also tomorrow will be a cooler day across northern Georgia due to just clouds and rain. Also, most of the southeast though will be in the 40s. Maybe some areas in northern Georgia not getting out of the 30s. Yeah, so Wednesday afternoon we're starting to see that dip south. There's very cold temperatures there. And immediately, so Thursday morning, this is Thursday at 9Z, and now we're at 12 degrees in Amarillo by 7 a.m. Thursday. And then it just continues pushing. By Thursday, 18Z, so Thursday afternoon, it's 61. I think that maybe Waco, I'm not sure, but and then right to the north, 37. Up by Dallas, it's 35. Wichita Falls, 23. So yeah, I mean, this is some very significant cold air. I mean, it's even it's even wrapping around the low in the Midwest, which is just pretty cool to see. I mean, it's not rare to see it, but it's just the magnitude we're seeing it at. In Springfield, Illinois, it's 9, then in northern Illinois, it's 34. It's pretty interesting there. So this is temperatures Friday morning here. That front's moving through the east, uh, and we're seeing temperatures in the teens all the way down to like Birmingham, Jackson, Mississippi, even like Charles on the GFS getting like a low of 19 there. And then temperatures, are really cold Friday afternoon. This is going to be a big factor with this storm system as well. Even if you don't get snow and you live in the south, especially like the southern plains, you've been like getting decent like this isn't like rare compared or this isn't like insane compared to what you've gotten the past 2 years in the southern plains. But I mean in the southeast, this is a little more interesting in my opinion, just because it's not interesting. In fact, it's not even as cold. But it's just southeast got missed out, on a lot over the past like 2 winters. So, but yeah, so Saturday. Temperatures Friday afternoon 26 in Dallas, so very cold in the southern plains. We'll see how Texas can deal with this cold. Yeah, Louisiana very cold. Temperatures in like the freezing line, making it. Temperatures in the 30s in southern Louisiana. So that, and for the afternoon, this is in the afternoon. This is like high temperatures here. In the 20s across Georgia, northern Georgia, areas of Mississippi, Alabama, and we can see those single digits just in like Kentucky there, Missouri, all the way up into maybe even negatives in the afternoon as you go up into Iowa and Nebraska. So a lot of cold. This is Christmas Eve. Extremely cold Christmas Eve morning in the northern plains. Very cold in most of the south here. That cold is a little further east. Those teens we can see in the not in the single digits, in the teens in northern Mississippi, areas of Alabama, and areas of northern Georgia. And that cold is starting to push into the northeast here, with some single digits like in some teens as you go into like the interior northeast, like areas of PA, New York. And then this area still hasn't really, the front hasn't fully cleared that area yet. But like Toledo, Ohio is 20 on the GFS, and then Columbus is 7. So pretty interesting. Christmas Day on the GFS, we can see across much of the south, really cold. Still in some areas not getting above freezing. A lot of areas and still in the 30s for highs. And then still where we have that snow cover, especially where we have that, really like that area of where we have all the snow, is temperatures are still like in the teens and single digits potentially in the afternoon on the GFS there. On the Euro's colder in the south, or generally colder than the GFS, I'd say. Friday afternoon, 25 in Dallas, 22 in Atlanta, 32 in Columbia. Getting down well into the teens in areas of Atlanta. Negatives in Ohio, maybe there, like right around 0 on the Euro. Into the northeast, this is Saturday morning here. You can see that front has pretty much cleared the northeast there. And then, temperatures Christmas Eve, high temperatures Christmas Eve. These are temperatures Christmas Eve afternoon. Very cold, 20s in the south still. All 40s in Central Florida. And negatives in the northern plains, single digits across areas in the Midwest. And then Christmas morning is very cold as well. Temperatures in the teens in the southeast. There. Starting to warm a little bit across Texas, but still not much. Sunday afternoon, Christmas Day, it is still in the 30s for highs in a lot of places. It's definitely a lot colder across the south. 27 for a high Christmas, or 27 for a little higher probably, because it doesn't really like fully show that, but because this is only 1 p.m. here, but about 27 in Atlanta. So very cold temperatures we're gonna be looking at. We'll get a little more into details like that, because these temperatures are still will still change a little bit as we get closer to this, considering we're still about 5 days out. So we'll talk a little more in depth. We'll look at temperatures tomorrow and especially Wednesday. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all today. Just this pretty significant storm system. I think somewhere from this, like I said before, we'll probably see a blizzard. We'll see if the GFS still continues trending northwest. Hopefully it starts to shift a little southeast here, so we're not looking at a blizzard in the northern plains, or like upper Midwest area. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all have a great day tomorrow, a great day today, and a great day tomorrow. And once again, if you have any suggestions of stuff you'd like to see, just let me know. But yeah, thank you.